And based on the past voting record that I've seen from this commission, I know my words tonight probably won't make much of a difference as to how you'll finally vote on this ordinance at the next meeting. But I feel compelled to express my shock and disgust with how the commission has treated the most vulnerable citizens within your city. And rather than propose thoughtful and lasting solutions to a problem that affects thousands, I see you've resorted to primarily Band-Aids in order to push the homeless out of the city. And I know many think that these restrictions will make life so difficult for the homeless that they will leave. But having worked with them for over 15 years, I can tell you you're going to be sorely mistaken. What you're going to do is waste thousands of police hours. You're going to fill jails up with innocent people, and ultimately you're going to bog down your courts. In the end, the homeless aren't going to leave, and people aren't going to stop helping them. Church groups and private citizens have been forced to feed the homeless because you and your predecessors have failed as leaders in the city. And now you're trying to impose restrictions on those that are trying to act compassionate. So I hope that you're prepared for the consequences of these actions. Are you prepared to fine and possibly imprison large numbers of people, volunteers? Or are you ready to send the police out every week to disperse church groups who assemble at Shanahan Park and elsewhere in your city? No matter how many times you fine us or push us off, we're going to keep returning every single week.
As the Fort Lauderdale puppets of super wealthy city commissioners carry on their war against the poorest of the poor, our homeless friends, by requiring feeding groups to provide porta potties and other impossible rules, the obvious course of action is to take the city back to court again, where they will lose again and be exposed to all as the heartless hypocrites they actually are.
It's ridiculous. It's not going to work. I won't let it work. I'll continue to feed them. I'll continue to help them until you put me in jail so many times that I'm going to go away for a long time.
Sir, you're out. I just said, next person to speak out's out.
You're asking me a question.
And I got your answer, and I stopped. You want to sit down and behave? You can sit down and behave.
Hey, that's not attitude. When I sit back down there.
You may sit down.
I do want to congratulate you, though, heartily congratulate you for actually becoming the first city in the history of municipal governance in the United States to pass 5 anti-homeless ordinances in a mere 6 months. No municipality has come close to that. You have set the record. Congratulations, commissioners.
Along with other regulations designed to look like health regulations, this ordinance is not about the community health, but about business and getting rid of the homeless. And as you sit there and roll your eyes, pat yourself on the back about the services already provided, and use terms like the city isn't here for the few, you are denying yourselves the ability to see that you are criminalizing poverty, and will now give FLPD the ability to literally take food out of hungry people's mouths. You should be ashamed of yourselves. What else can I say? You're a wall. I don't know why I waited till almost 1 o'clock in the morning to sit here and talk to you. You spent 45 minutes talking about 1 or 2 rich people where they can park their frickin' boat. And you can't eat, you will have no conversation with us except badger people, Mr. Mayor, and kick people out because you don't want to hear it, because you know that you're a disgusting human being.
Thank you.
I got to tell you that from my perspective, this has been, I think, one of the best commissions that I've ever worked with. So you folks that don't have a home, you're here for a reason. You're here because you love this city. You love your friends who you're here with, and we all are working on this together. And you'll remember, and I recognize quite a few of you here tonight, because, Mayor, I hope you don't mind if I say something to the audience tonight. I gave you the opportunity, and I asked for you to come and talk to the chamber and the business community about solutions. And not one of you ever darkened my doorstep, ever made a phone call to me, ever came over to my office. And I'm right up the street, guys.
Hello, I'd like to thank you with your arrest a week and a half after the last city commission meeting about arresting me on trespassing on public property. 40% of people that are homeless are LGBT, and 60% of youth, young adults, are LGBT identified. So how dare you sit up there and vote, what was it, every 2 months? You've passed more anti-homeless laws than any city in the United States of America?
I don't understand how you can look at people's faces and say, you can't have a meal. And I'm not going to allow somebody that's not asking me or my commission for $1, not asking me for anything, and going to tell them, no, I'm sorry, you can't feed them with the risk of being arrested. I have a 3-year-old son that comes out with us every day that shows more compassion than any of you up here.
Greetings, you spineless cowards who wish to take food out of the mouths of the hungry. Congratulations. Your place in history as villains awaits you. But why wait? For I hold in my hands an orange that I intend to share as an affront to justice, lest you strap it from my hands. Slap it, I'm sorry, it's a little bit late. Think of the chaos that sharing this orange would cause. The skyscrapers would collapse, the children crippled and insane. Why do you hesitate? Do you lack conviction? I think not. You just mean to send out your gun thugs at a time when you hide in the shadows like blind, translucent cave shrimp. O most wise pustules, on the flanks of sickened farm animals, we await you to come and stop us.
I am ashamed of you. I am ashamed of the city. I am ashamed of the fact that all it seems to want to do is bring in more wealthy people and just mistreat all the people that are already here, not just the homeless people, but all the people that are underpaid, paying ridiculous prices for housing. This is really a pitiful city is what it is. It's not a beautiful city. It's a pitiful, cold, heartless city.
It could be that this ordinance is really just irrelevant to us. If we don't see it as irrelevant, then we have to regard it as unjust. And in the words of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr., one has a moral responsibility to disobey unjust laws. And some of us who otherwise would be inclined to obey the law in this kind of situation will feel compelled to disobey this particular law.
Because there doesn't seem to be any distress about passing laws which dehumanize the homeless and cut them off from the rest of the community. But there should be, because not only does dehumanizing social groups cut them off from humanity, but it also harms those who dehumanize others. We are one human community, and it hurts all of us to think or act differently.
Every time I drive by Stranahan Park on Sundays or Saturdays, I just get so angry when I look at what's going on over there, and they think like that they're doing. I mean, they're doing the same thing over and over again, and expecting a different result. It's just, if you're just going to feed people over and over again, and to do it in the most public place in the middle of our city, just to like rub our faces in it, like, you know, it just makes people angry. That's why we're passing these laws. I don't know. I'd like to see you guys discuss this a little bit. I mean, to keep this till 2 in the morning, no one wants to talk about it. You know, it's just like, if you're going to do something, be proud of what you're doing and say, I'm doing it because of this, not no comment, you know. Thanks. Do I have a motion to close public hearing?
All right. This is the first reading of an ordinance amending the Unified Land Development Regulations of the City of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, amending sections 47-18.31, Social Service Facility, 47-6.10, List of Permitted and Conditional Uses, Community Business District, 47-6.